Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm really excited to do. I'm going to be revisiting a tag that I have done in the past. This is the If I Could Only Keep One. This was started by Kelly Gooch. I of course will have her channel linked down below. I know she's done some recent ones of this video as well, so check my description box for some of the links down there. She's fabulous. If you aren't familiar with Kelly's channel, you must go check her out. But I've been noticing in a few of my recent videos, I've had a lot of requests to do this video again, but I've also seen a lot of people requesting me to do the drugstore version of this. So this is going to be all drugstore products. If I could only keep one product in each category, what would it be? So thank you so much for the comments and the suggestions. I love making videos that I think that you guys want to see. So of course, if you have any other ideas for me, please always leave them in the comment section. But why don't we go ahead and get started with the video. Alrighty, so I felt like this was challenging. There were some categories that were a bit of a struggle for me. I do really like drugstore products. I do really like high-end products. There's some categories that I lean high-end. There's some categories I lean drugstore. So it was interesting to not to just do if I could only keep one in general of my makeup collection, which is what I've done the last time I did this video, but to just narrow it down to drugstore. Primers was actually one that I thought was pretty difficult because there's a lot of high-end primers that I really love, really enjoy, really believe in. But the one that I ended up choosing is from Covergirl. This is the True Blend Base Business Skin Primer, and I chose the Skin Smoothing Primer. I chose this one because I have a couple even from this line from Covergirl that's like an illuminating primer, pore filling primer. I know I have like a purple one too, but I went with the Skin Smoothing because I felt like if I could only keep one in the category, I feel like that's what I would lean to, because not every day do I want illuminating. Not every day do I want a really mattifying primer, but skin smoothing, I feel like I'm pretty cool with having smooth skin every day. You know, it's like, okay, that's great. I've also noticed with this one, it is a pretty decent pore filling primer as well. So for if I'm having days where I feel like my pores are larger, this would be a good one. But it really does really smooth the skin and just kind of get you prepped and ready for foundation and the other products that you're gonna be putting on. So primer would go to CoverGirl. I have adjusted my camera settings once again. I got a new camera recently. We've also moved into a new house, so I've been messing with lights and cameras and settings and all this other stuff that I am not great at. So if you notice me keep looking at the camera, I'm like, what's happening here? I try to change the focus. So sometimes I'm like, am I in focus? Is Perry in focus? I don't know who's in focus. But moving on, I thought foundation was a super simple choice. If you guys have followed me for a while, we can probably all say this together. The L'Oreal True Match Lumi. I love this foundation. I've gone through a full size of it. I went out and repurchased it once again because I just enjoy it so much. It's a glass bottle. You have a nice pump on it. My shade is N4, which is buff beige. I really like the coverage on it. It's a nice medium but buildable coverage. It does give you a luminous finish, but it's more of like a natural luminous, and it still lasts for a really long time on me, which I think is fantastic. This has been a favorite of mine for quite some time. I really enjoy it. So foundation was actually a pretty easy choice. And then for concealer, I have some concealers that I really do enjoy and that I go back to and I recommend, but I actually had to give it to a new one that I've been trying. This is from e.l.f. Cosmetics. This is the 16-Hour Camo Concealer. And it's funny because when I first got this one, I was a little unsure about it. Wasn't even sure if I was going to like it. And now I'm saying if I could only pick one drugstore concealer, I'm going with this one from e.l.f. I have just really started to get on with this concealer. It's what I have on my skin today. I've been wearing it a lot for like traveling, for events. I've been taking it like out of town with me again as well. You have this giant doe foot here. You get a lot of product on here. A very little bit goes a long way. It's a nice full coverage concealer, but it's still really easy to blend out. It doesn't look too thick on the under eyes. It doesn't look too cakey. It's just a really solid concealer. So I highly recommend this one from e.l.f. And if I can only keep one, I'm going with that one. Powder was a little bit tricky for me because I was like, okay, am I going to choose a pressed powder? Am I going to choose a loose powder? And it was kind of hard because some days I want a pressed powder. Like today, I have a pressed powder on. I felt like that would be good enough paired with my e.l.f. concealer. I didn't feel like sometimes when I go with a loose powder, it's because maybe I'm going to be wearing my makeup a little bit longer. Maybe I'm wearing a concealer that, you know, kind of needs more of a loose powder to lock it in and help it not crease. But I decided to go with a loose powder because I feel like you can kind of manipulate that one more. You can use less product or you can use more product. And sometimes with a pressed powder, it's just kind of like you dip your brush in and you get what you get. I don't know if that makes any sort of sense, but I felt like I could manipulate loose powders more, if that makes sense. Okay. And so the powder that I decided to go with is from Revlon. This is the Photo Ready Candid Anti-Pollution Setting Powder. I really like this powder. I think it is very nice. I have the shade 001. I like this one because it's a really lightweight powder. I've never noticed it caking up too much on my skin. Again, you can use less product, you can use more product, and even when I use more, I still don't feel like it's too much. I haven't noticed anything with like flashback with it. I've worn this like weddings when we've been doing like flash photography and all that, and I've never noticed anything adverse with this powder. I just feel like it's really nice and lightweight. I think that I lean more towards pressed powders when it comes to drugstore, but again, if I'm saying I can only pick one powder, I guess I could have broke it down into doing both, but I didn't. If I had to pick one powder from the drugstore to keep, it's gonna be this one from Revlon. Final answer. Okay, moving on, let's see here. For my bronzer, this was hard because I really like bronzers. I'm a big fan, and it's interesting because I've been trying to not purchase as many face palettes these days, and I've been decluttering a bit more of my face palettes, and I was like, wow, a face palette would have been really good to have in this category, like one thing that had a lot of different options, or even like a bronzer palette or a blush palette, and you'd have like a lot of different options if you were only going to keep one. But I've been trying to work on cutting down on not only purchasing but keeping them around in my collection, so this was a little bit challenging when it came to like cheek products. But for my bronzer, I ended up going with this one from Milani. This is the Silky Matte Bronzing Powder, and I have mine in the shade 01 Sunlight. It is what I have on today. I do also have the Natasha Denona Tan Bronze and Glow palette on because I'm working on getting my review for that. I have a first thoughts video that's already up, but I'm still trying to wear a bunch of the products in there to kind of get my full thoughts on it, because that's a pricey palette. That is the opposite of drugstore. Like I said, I do have this on today. I kind of use it as a little bit more of a contour today. It's more, the 01 shade is a little bit more on the cool tone side, but I actually like it because I can take a smaller brush and really put it right into my cheekbones, but I can also take a fluffier brush and kind of, you know, buff it out onto the cheeks also. So I thought that this could be a good choice for that because it's kind of like a little dual action here, if you will. But it's a really beautiful bronzer. I think it looks really nice and natural on the skin. It's very blendable, and I think that it's really beautiful. Also very buildable as well, so you got your two B's in there. But this one from Milani, that was going to be the one that I went with. Blush was actually quite difficult for me as well because I have a lot of high-end blushes that I really enjoy. So picking a drugstore blush, I almost said brush, picking a drugstore blush was a little bit more challenging for me, but I decided to go with kind of one of my old staples. This is from Flower Beauty. This is one of the flower pots. This is in Peach Primrose. I think this is a really nice blush. It is a very long-lasting blush. Kind of blush is, you know, usually one of the first things to fade, but this one here from Flower Beauty, I've noticed that it's very nice and long-lasting. It's a beautiful peachy color, which I don't reach for peach as much as I once did, but I still felt like it would be a good option, especially because you can kind of build this one up a little bit into even more peachiness, or you can go a little bit more light-handed and have it be more of like a neutral peach, if that makes any sort of sense. But this is a really nice blush, and if I could only keep one, this is going to last me 3 lifetimes. So there you go. That's my blush. That's my blush choice. Okay, for highlighter, I had it narrowed down to a couple. I just like highlights in general. I mean, I have my favorite high-end, I have my favorite drugstore, and I had a couple picked out for drugstore, but I ended up going with this one because if I could only keep one, the Pixi one is going to give me 2 different options, which I quite enjoy. So this is from Pixi Beauty. This is the Glowy Gossamer Duo in Delicate Dew. So you have more of like a rose gold pinky shade over here, and then kind of more of like your champagne, golden champagne color on the other side. And these are absolutely beautiful. I have to say, I have worn this so much. I kind of lean towards the pinky side a little bit more. I have worn these so much, especially that one side, that I'm kind of surprised that there's not even like more of a bigger dent in this one, because I just reach for this so much. It's a beautiful Pixi. Kind of feel like I'm maybe cheating a little bit because Pixi is one of those brands where it's like I feel like they're more considered like middle ground. Like they're not super drugstore affordable, but they're not quite high end. Some of their things kind of get a little bit more high end, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I see a lot of people classify Pixi as drugstore, so I thought I would get away with it here. So this is the one that I am choosing. But if that's cheating, then my second choice was the ColourPop Flexitarian. So if you don't consider Pixi, that would be my second choice. ColourPop Flexitarian, that's affordable, and you can also find it at Ulta, but this one from Pixi was like kind of my first, like, yeah, you gotta have that. And you got 2 highlights in there. So I like that option. So for eyeshadows, once again, I was like, I knew which one I was going to pick, and I'm pretty sure this was the palette that I picked in my first video that I did. But this is from Morphe, and Morphe is considered an affordable brand for the most part, but this palette was kind of higher priced. So again, I chose out 2 palettes just as like, if you like really were gonna come at me that something wasn't Drugstore, I have a backup to give you too. But the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, I just enjoyed this palette so much. It's a favorite of mine. I just did the 20 best products from 20 brands in 20 minutes. That was a video that definitely I felt like I had a lot of comments on there. People wanted to see one specifically for Drugstore, and that's when I was seeing comments to do this video, but with Drugstore as well. So thank you guys, everyone who watched that video. I really greatly appreciate that. But I mentioned that I felt like this was the best one from Morphe, and if I could only keep one, this is a giant eyeshadow palette, and you have just like a lot of different options for whatever it is that you want to do. So I felt like this would be a perfect one to include in there. This was a little bit higher priced because, you know, probably being the collaboration with Jaclyn Hill and all of that. So even though I do consider Morphe to be affordable, like just in case, again, you're like gonna come after me and be like, no, that's not affordable, try again, I would say the ColourPop and Kathleen Light's Dream Street. Again, also mentioned in that 20 best video, so that's probably not a huge surprise here. I really like this one. I could have chose like the It's My Pleasure from ColourPop, the Sweet Talk from ColourPop, but that's like a purple palette and more of a coral palette, where this one is a little bit more like neutral based. So again, that's typically what I wear on a daily basis, and I just feel like I would get a lot of looks out of this palette. And then you still have a few items, colors, shades. You still have a few shades in here to kind of like mix things up, jazz things up, if you will. So again, still number 1 would be the Morphe, but like if you're gonna make me choose like a more affordable palette, I would say the ColourPop. Okay then. Alright, so let's see. For mascara, bit of a tough one because again, I feel like there's a lot more high-end mascaras that I've been into recently, but I'm actually going to choose this one also from Milani. So this is the Highly Rated Mascara. I picked this up fairly recently from Ulta. When I first got it and was trying it out, I was like, yeah, okay, pretty decent. Like when I reviewed it, I was like, I really don't have any cons to say about it. I think it's a nice mascara, but I was like, I'm not sure it's necessarily a favorite of mine. And I feel like I've grown to like it even more. I do appreciate that I don't get any transfer with it. That was definitely something I wanted in my mascara choice. I hate transfer, smudging, flaking, anything like that, and this really doesn't do that. But I do think that it makes my lashes look pretty darn decent. So I'm gonna go with this one from Milani, Highly Rated. Before we finish off with a plethora of lip products, I chose a brow pencil. So the one that I have here is from Maybelline. This one is the Total Temptation Brow Definer. So I have it in the package because I have repurchased this. I think I've gone through 2 pencils so far, I want to say. I just keep buying more because I think that it's a great brow pencil. So if you haven't checked out this one from Maybelline, it's the Total Temptation Brow Definer. I think it's really nice. You have like a mini spoolie on one end, and then the actual brow product reminds me more of like the Benefit Goof Proof. It has more of that teardrop shape, but it's kind of like a little bit on the thinner side than the Goof Proof, but I think it's great, and I think it's a really nice affordable option. So that one from Maybelline would be my brow choice. And then I did a couple different categories for lip products. So I did a lip liner, a like bullet lipstick, a liquid lipstick, and also a lip gloss. And I will say that this was actually pretty challenging for me as well, especially there's a few certain categories that I felt were pretty challenging. For the lip liner, that one was really simple to me, and again, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I'm going to say the ColourPop lip liners. This is my Oh Snap lip liner, and she is so tiny because I have sharpened this lip liner so much. You will see a ColourPop haul. I think it's gonna go up tomorrow as long as my package is really out there in the mailbox, which I don't know if it is because I've been waiting a long time for this package. I ordered a few more ColourPop lip liners because they have like repackaged them, which I'm very excited about. So I'm excited to try those out and see if I like them better. But the Oh Snap lip liner is just absolutely beautiful. It's just like a pinky nude lip liner, something that I need all the time. I really like the ColourPop lip liners, and they are so affordable. So Oh Snap would definitely be the liner that I would choose. For my regular lipstick, I had a bit of trouble with this one because it was, you know, not only was I picking a lipstick formula, I was picking a shade. I kind of went through my ColourPop lipsticks, but I didn't have that like one shade in ColourPop that I was like, yes, absolutely. I ended up going with this one from Covergirl. This is one of their exhibitionist lipsticks. I believe it's what it's called. I thought it was on this packaging, but maybe not. Pretty sure it's one of their exhibitionist lipsticks, and this is the Demi Matte formula, which I really, really like over their cream formula. And this shade is in Trending. So it's just, again, it's a really nice nude. I'm sure none of you are shocked to see me pick like a purple lipstick if I could only keep one. So it's just a really beautiful nude. It pulls a little bit more on the matte side. Again, these two complement each other really well. And I just think that it's a beautiful lipstick. I really like the formula. I really like the shade. So once I kind of went through my whole lipstick collection, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to give it to you, CoverGirl. So that is my regular lipstick. For a liquid lipstick, I ended up going with this one here from Pixi. This is one of their Matte Last liquid lipsticks, and this is in Pastel Petal. I don't know if you'd be able to see, but there's a bit of a mark in there because I have worn this shade quite a bit. I really do like these liquid lipsticks from Pixi. I think that they're nice and comfortable. I think they're nice and long wearing. I like the applicator on them. It's kind of more of that like it has a sharper tip on there, which I do appreciate. And Pastel Petal is just a really beautiful pinky nude shade. So once again, in that same family, not a surprise there. So lip gloss was a little bit hard for me to choose as well. I've been getting more into lip glosses as of lately, but I don't have like a huge collection right now. And I really didn't have a lot to pick from when it came to drugstore wise. I have a lot more high end, definitely in the lip gloss category. I don't feel like 100% confident about this one, but it's what we ended up with. This is also from ColourPop. This is in collaboration with I Love Sarah E, one of the ultra glossy lips, and this is in Atoli, I believe is how you pronounce it. It's a really pretty lip gloss, and I have paired it with Oh Snap, and I thought that it looked really nice. The reason why I'm like not 100% on this one is because it is more of like a metallic gloss. I don't know if you'd be able to tell for sure from the swatch, but it's a little bit more on the metallic side, but it's a really beautiful, almost kind of like a peachy gold type of color. It is quite nice, but I don't know. I'm not 100% confident on that one. If you guys have any good drugstore lip gloss recommendations, let me know, because I felt like out of everything in my collection, lip gloss was definitely where I had a lot of high end. So if you have any recommendations for me, do let me know. But that is the lip gloss that I ended up choosing, that one from ColourPop. But other than that, that is going to wrap it up for today's video and all of my choices of if I could only pick one drugstore edition. Thank you guys so much for giving me your request that you wanted to see this video. I had a lot of fun doing it. Again, I will have Kelly's channel linked down below. Please make sure you go check her out. She was the creator of this tag, and I think that is awesome. If you guys have been following along, you know that I've been doing a giveaway at the end of all of my videos in the month of May. So if you've made it this far, congrats. We are about to jump over into that giveaway, but thank you guys so much for watching. So if you are interested in entering the giveaway, I'm going to show you some of the prizes that I have here, but like I said, I've just been doing a little giveaway at the end of my videos throughout the month of May. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a bigger giveaway included in my video. It's going to have 3 winners, and it's going to be some pretty big boxes, so make sure to check back in tomorrow's video for that. Over today's prizes, I thought it would be fun to put together a drugstore prize theme giveaway since we're doing a drugstore video. So in here we have, first of all, this cute little bag here. This is from Almay, and then if you open it up, it is just full of a bunch of different products in here from Almay. There's like brow products, there's eye products, there's mascaras, there's a bunch of different products in here, all from Almay, and you get this cute little makeup bag included with it. I also have a lip treatment here. This is from Winky Lux, so it's just like a clear lip treatment. I have a highlighter from Morphe, because again, Morphe, consider them to be a more affordable brand. This is in the shade Mirage. I have an eyeshadow palette from Essence. This is the Ola Rio eyeshadow palette. So inside you have some of these shades in here. And then lastly, I picked this up from Ulta because this is one of my favorite sets, so I knew I wanted to include it in some sort of giveaway, and since Real Techniques is an affordable brand, that's what's going in today's giveaway. I love this set. I've talked about these brushes quite a bit. I did If I Could Only Choose One brushes video recently, and a lot of these brushes are in there from Real Techniques. So you have also the sponge, and then you have some face brushes in here also. So that is from Real Techniques, so that is the little prize set today. If you want to win, it's super easy to get entered. Just be a subscriber over here and then leave a comment and include the hashtag SamSquad. So if you don't want to enter the giveaway but you want to leave some feedback, maybe some of your choices, if you could only pick one, just don't include that hashtag, because I will choose a winner from everyone that does leave the hashtag SamSquad in the comments. But other than that, that's it. That's all you have to do to enter. The giveaways are open for about 48 hours, and then I'm just listing the winner's name in the description box so you know that that giveaway has been closed. They are open international, so anyone can enter. Again, just be a subscriber and make sure to leave that hashtag in the comments. But other than that, that's it. Make sure to check back tomorrow because there's going to be a fun giveaway in that video. But other than that, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. Let me know what you thought. Let me know some of your top picks if you could only choose one. Please do let me know in the comments. And other than that, if you guys did enjoy today's video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.